My family and I lived with my sister. We shared a house together. We shared the rent. We had both of our boys when we were renting a house, the three of us adults together, 30-somethings, and just outgrowing a really tiny house. I think it was 1,000 square feet or something like that, maybe 800. It was completely tiny. It's really, really hard if you're just scraping by, if you're just earning enough to just pay your bills and just pay your rent. It's so difficult to save enough for a down payment for a house or a loan or anything like that to get into home ownership, which is where NeighborWorks really, really helped us. They provided that first step in financial freedom for us.
We didn't start off knowing everything, and with a NeighborWorks program, we were able to learn how to budget, learn how to take care of our credit scores, how to plan for the insurance that you need for house payments, the escrow.
We've heard the cliche hand up and not a handout before. It's kind of like lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. But when you see it working on the ground and not just as an expression or an economic theory, it really matters. What better visualization than to be able to help someone get up and to put your hand out to help them and not to give them something. In this day and age, people don't want to be given things, they want to earn things. People can get behind that.
Homeownership allows a family to grow equity, to break the cycle of poverty. It allows them to become more involved in their community. It allows their children to do better in school. There's just so many advantages to homeownership.
We're so lucky here in Great Falls to have the high school house opportunity for our high school students. They get to see what it's like to build a home from the ground up. I've had the opportunity to go to 8 different high school house openings, and at many of those we've been able to meet the families that are going to move into those homes. And each of their stories is different, but what is the same about each of those is the excitement that the family feels. The excitement about picking out which corner of the living room the Christmas tree is going to go into, picking out the bedroom that each of the children will have, or picking out the time in the 4th of July picnic that they're going to have in the backyard on the sod that was laid by high school students. So that excitement when I leave those open houses and after I've met those families is something that I am so proud of to be a part of, and I think our community should be too.
I worked with a lot of those families, and then I've seen what they've become and what they've done and their children. I've seen the difference, that huge difference that it's made in the Great Falls neighborhoods. And I can't even begin to count how many homeowners, because I don't have the statistics anymore. But once a family gets started, their children will have hope. So it just goes on and on.
Over the past 37 years, NeighborWorks has received federal funding, and that federal funding is starting to disappear. There's tremendous pressures on the federal budget. So we have to turn to our supporters and say, please help us help 100 families every year become homeowners. The goal for our endowment is $2.5 million. We can create 100 new homeowners every year with an endowment of $2.5 million. A gift of $25,000 will create enough income to support a new homeowner every year forever.
When we were renting, I never believed that home ownership was in our future. I didn't think that it would be possible for us because we weren't good financial candidates for that. So it was kind of a pie in the sky, like maybe someday when our kids are grown we might be able to afford it, but I didn't think that it would ever be something that I would see come to fruition.
With the financial freedom that we got right now, we're able to enjoy taking our sons to swim meets or giving our other son horseback riding lessons because of that. We're able to just really tighten down that belt, and every tax season we're always glad for that extra bit of money. And most people, they spend it on whatever, but we reinvest it in the house. We make extra payments to try to crack down the payments, which we wouldn't have learned if we didn't have our classes through NeighborWorks.
I think of so many families, little kids, older kids, who've said when we help them become homeowners, I get my own room, I get to paint it pink, I get to have a puppy now. All of those things that people can't really do in apartments, that's what helps a family when they become homeowners.
I love that I have a game room and a room.
Spent 5 years in this house, and I've made so many memories. I have a place to hang my medals, I have a place to play with my dogs. I can go outside and they can be off leash because I trust them. And I have my room, and I have everything. It's just great.
Home means to me having achieved a sense of belonging and having a place where I can go to recover, relax, recoup, socialize. That's mine. And it's not yours. And it's not a friend's, but it's mine. And that sense of ownership of that concept is really an important part of my basic character security, and I think for any family security.
Home means safety, comfort, and it feels like I can just be myself here. Either that or at the pool.
Our community should give back to NeighborWorks because NeighborWorks builds our community up. It is our community. NeighborWorks opened the door to our family, to our financial freedom, to further education, to our life, basically. Our life began with NeighborWorks.